Hey guys, what's happening? Sunday morning. I said in the last video that I wanted to do something a little bit different for this video. Get away from the body work. I'm still doing body work, but I've been filming, so I'm going to film something else today. I want to get on my forgotten '49 Ford F1 pickup. It's set up with a small block Chevy. I want to put in the new motor, the one that's going in it for good. So we're going to do that today. Fun while. I'll show you the truck. Brief history on it. I had built a '48 Ford a while back. I didn't finish it, but I got it about half done, I guess. The frame was all done, and the cab and front clip and hood and everything was all painted up. I had the box left to do and then finish up the frame. Anyway, I sold the truck, needed some coin, same old story. So I sold the truck, and the guy who bought it off me had given me a call, said he bought a Corvette, C4 Corvette, and was going to use all the suspension out of that, and asked me if I could, if I had another stock frame that he could use. I said, well, if I get you one, I'll swap you for my old frame back, because I had already done all the work on it. It's got a 323 posi rear end out of a '79 Trans Am, I think it was. I had already lowered it, so made a cross member for the transmission and motor mounts and shock mounts in the front, and relocated the power brake booster and master cylinder and all that kind of stuff. So it was almost done. So yeah, so I found a frame. I got it delivered to me because the guy was coming up to buy a car off me. So he brought the frame up with him. I did the trade, got my old frame back, and I picked up this '49 from out west, off of Ian, my truck driver guy. You've seen him in an earlier video. And yeah, so I was renting a garage next door to me. The rent started to get to be a bit too much, so I pulled everything out, and I left the '49 beside the garage out in the snow for 2 years. So that really sucks. So the poor thing's been neglected. I feel bad. It's time to make up with it and make it happy. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get after it. So there she is, my poor baby '49 Ford. Set it up. It's small block Chevy. I just used this engine for a mock-up. It came out of a '73 or '4 Nova I had, but it's a 4-bolt main 0010 block. It's a good one. It did run when I pulled it, and I turn it over every once in a while. So this is a good candidate for a 383 stroker down the road. Transmission is a turbo 350. It's been built. It's got a reverse manual valve body, a shift kit, and all that stuff. And I picked up a 2800 stall converter for it, so that's what's going to go in. So I'm using that transmission on the new motor. I know the cab isn't sitting where it's supposed to be, but I have had this mocked up before with a different cab. So yeah, so that brings me to this. Here's the motor I'm putting in it. This is a 350 Vortec out of a '98 Chevy half-ton. It was my old shop truck. Ran like crap, and the transmission started slipping and stuff, so I yanked the motor and I scrapped the truck. It was pretty rusty anyhow. I had it for 5 years. It didn't owe me anything. So when I started tearing her down, when I got to the pulled the timing cover off, the timing chain had like over an inch of play, and that's why it ran like crap. Couldn't keep it timed. So anyway, I tore it right down, checked the crank bearings. They were good. The journals were good. I put a cam in it, competition cams. I can't remember of course I can't remember the number. It's more than 3 digits. I'm old. But anyway, there's a cam in it. I put new rings, a double roller timing set, aluminum intake, That's a Demon carb. So I polished the alternator and stuff like that, painted it up. So it's pretty much ready to go in. Then I can add all the other bits. So yeah, the plan is to pull this one out with the tranny. I got to finish the transmission cross member anyhow. I left this thing sitting outside like a moron for 2 winters, so all the work I did has to be cleaned up and painted and what have you. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Get this one out, clean up all that wiring and crap that's hanging off the firewall. I want to do the firewall pretty, but the rest of the truck is going to be ratty. So yeah, that's where we're at, and time to pull this sucker out. Okay, well, the old one is out, and easy peasy, no problem. And spent some quality time with a wire brush and cleaned up the frame and painted it. This is what it looked like a couple of years ago, before I parked it in a snowbank like a dumbass for a couple of years at least. Yeah, little shot of candy apple trim clad makes all the difference in the world. So as soon as that's dry, we'll drop the engine in, not the transmission though. I want to take the cab, tilt it back so I can get at the transmission mount and finish it off. I got some work to do with the booster as well, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those shocks yet. I think I might paint them. They looked chrome-ish, but they're rusty now, so we'll probably paint them up. Anyhow, yeah, as soon as that dries, I'm going to drop that engine in, and that baby right there, and then we'll go from there. Well, I worked up a sweat and accomplished nothing. An epic failure. I used a set of motor mounts that I had hanging around. They look the same, but they are not the same. They're actually 1/4 inch narrower. So 1/4 inch on each side, 1/2 inch. My holes aren't lining up. So I pulled the mounts that were on the old engine off, cleaned them up, painted them. So as soon as they're dry, I'll swap them out. And we'll try that time-lapse thing again. I fought with it for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And right away, finally I pulled out a measuring tape, and which I should have done the first time before I even started. Anyway, we'll get her. Okay, so it's in. It works so much better with the right motor mounts. Anyway, yeah, it took just as long to do this as it did to screw it on the first time. I got to trim a little bit of rubber at the mounts there so it doesn't look so ugly, down here. But other than that, yeah, she's in, and we're looking good. So I'll show you what the problem was. These ones here, or the ones that are on there now, the hole is here. Well, the other ones, it dips down a little bit further, and this hole is further down. So that's what my problem was. It wouldn't fit. Those were the original mounts that came with that engine, but it was in a 98 Chevy truck. So yeah, they look the same, but they're not. Anyhow, lesson learned. So there you go. It's got an engine, and I'm happy, and I think the truck's a lot happier too. So now I got to think about exhaust. I got to get all the fuel pump, put plugs, wires, get the distributor in, thermostat, housing, a belt, rad, all that kind of stuff. You know, hook up some fuel and a battery and get some wiring done, and see if we can crank this thing off and get it to make some noise. You know, like I said, I built that engine, and it's always nerve-wracking when you build an engine and you haven't heard it run. So, you know, when you go to fire it up the first time, fingers, toes, and everything else is crossed. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It blows up. Anyhow, it was a good day, and I'm glad I got to do something a little bit different. We're gonna plug away on this thing off and on. You know, mostly nights, weekends. During the day in the week, I've got to stay on the body work and get that square body finished up. So follow us on Facebook. Check it out. Dirty Dan's Rod and Cycle on Facebook. Subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, man. Come on. Hit the subscribe button and the little bell. It's not hard. Two clicks and you're done. It's free. And I'd be eternally grateful. And, you know, don't be afraid to leave comments down below. Maybe you're not into seeing this thing being a rat truck. Maybe you want to see it all painted. Or maybe you like the rat thing and think the motor's too shiny. I don't know. Whatever. Comments, good or bad, I try and answer them all. And, you know, if you're sitting around doing nothing, get out of the garage, build something, man. Later, guys.